Howard, Colson getting the start for Clark, and Mitchell the starters for Indiana. Here's Colson. Behind the back, pull-up, jumper, gets it to go. Oh my goodness.
Caitlin Clark's name has become almost synonymous with the modern WNBA, and the mere thought of her leaving the league has sent shockwaves through both basketball circles and mainstream sports culture. Yet the truth behind the speculation is more layered than a viral rumor suggests. In her short professional career, Clark has managed to do something few athletes have ever done: become a global sports figure while still in the early stages of her prime, drawing in fans who never previously followed women's basketball, packing arenas across the country, boosting TV ratings to historic highs, and redefining what it means to be a rookie in a highly competitive professional league. After her record-breaking collegiate career at Iowa, where she shattered scoring records, captivated national audiences with deep three-pointers and competitive fire, and took her team to back-to-back NCAA championship game appearances, she entered the WNBA in 2024 with perhaps the heaviest expectations any rookie has ever faced. And yet she delivered, averaging 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 8.4 assists per game, immediately becoming the Indiana Fever's centerpiece and earning Rookie of the Year honors. Her arrival wasn't just about basketball, it was a cultural moment. As ticket prices for Fever games skyrocketed, merchandise sales surged, and opposing teams began booking larger venues just to accommodate the Clark effect. And while her stat lines were impressive, her real impact was in her ability to bring eyes to the league, with sellout crowds and national broadcasts becoming the norm whenever she took the floor. But success in sports often comes with a toll, and for Clark, that toll has been her body's response to the intense physical demands of a WNBA season, combined with the relentless pressure of her role. In 2025, what was supposed to be her full breakout season has been derailed by a frustrating string of injuries. First, a left quad strain forced her to miss 3 weeks early in the campaign. Then, just as she returned and began regaining rhythm, a left groin injury kept her sidelined for another 2 weeks. And now a right groin injury has once again pulled her out of action, limiting her to just 13 games so far this season. In those appearances, she has still been brilliant, averaging 16.5 points, 5.0 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, proving that even at less than 100%, she remains one of the most complete guards in the league. But with her repeated absences, social media has become a breeding ground for speculation, with some fans and even certain pundits floating the idea that Clark might be considering leaving the WNBA altogether. Perhaps for overseas play, where seasons are shorter and contracts can be lucrative, or even stepping away temporarily to prioritize recovery and longevity. While such rumors are nothing new for star athletes, especially ones with the kind of crossover fame Clark enjoys, the chatter has been fueled by her relative silence on the matter, her limited public appearances during recovery, and the heightened emotional reaction fans have whenever a player of her caliber misses extended time. But insiders close to the Fever and league officials have made it clear that there is no indication she plans to walk away, with most signs pointing toward a cautious approach to her rehab to ensure she avoids long-term damage. What complicates things further is the unique grind of the WNBA schedule since 2019. The number of games has increased by 29%, while the season length has only grown by 10 days, meaning players have less recovery time between high-intensity matchups, and that condensed format has been cited by multiple stars as a contributing factor to the rise in injuries among elite talent, which makes Clark's situation both a personal battle and a league-wide talking point about player welfare. For Indiana, losing Clark for long stretches has been a blow, not only because of her on-court production but because she is the engine that drives their offensive flow. Her court vision, ability to score at all three levels, and knack for creating plays in transition make her virtually irreplaceable. And while players like Aaliyah Boston have stepped up admirably in her absence, the Fever's identity is undeniably tied to Clark's presence. Beyond the hardwood, her absence has been felt in the business side of the sport. 2 TV networks know she moves ratings. Sponsors build campaigns around her, and road games see attendance dips when she isn't playing, illustrating the rare, dual role she carries as both an athlete and a marketing phenomenon. Critics of the rumor mill argue that the narrative of her potentially leaving is an overreaction rooted in impatience, pointing out that many players go through injury-plagued stretches early in their careers and return stronger, and that Clark's competitive nature makes it unlikely she would step away at this point, especially given her stated goal of winning championships at the professional level. Yet others believe the speculation highlights a larger truth that the WNBA's rapid growth must be matched with equally rapid investment in player health, scheduling reform, and rest management to protect its stars. In Clark's case, the conversation has even expanded beyond basketball, with some fans suggesting she could explore media opportunities, endorsements, or even a stint in Olympic 3x3 basketball while easing her way back from injury. Although nothing official has been hinted at from her camp, for now, she continues to work behind the scenes on her recovery, with Fever coach Christy Sides emphasizing that they will not rush her return and that the priority is long-term health over short-term wins. A sentiment echoed by Clark's teammates, who have publicly expressed their support, noting that her impact goes far beyond box scores and that her leadership and basketball IQ remain integral even when she's not in uniform. The Fever's playoff hopes are still mathematically alive, but realistically, without Clark at full strength, they face an uphill battle, and that reality has intensified the focus on when she might be back, if at all, this season. Regardless of the outcome, Caitlin Clark's influence on the WNBA is already undeniable. She has redefined what a young star can mean for a league's visibility and growth. And whether she returns next week, next month, or next year, the appetite for her game and the conversations she sparks will not fade. For fans, the hope is simple that the injuries are just a temporary roadblock in a long and decorated career, and that the player who has already given so much to the sport in such a short time will have the opportunity to keep doing what she does best: light up the court, inspire the next generation, and remind everyone why her name carries so much weight in the basketball world. And until any official statement is made, the narrative remains clear: Caitlin Clark is still very much a WNBA player. Her story is far from over, and if anything, these setbacks may only set the stage for an even more compelling comeback chapter in the seasons to come.
Numbers, and the bucket going down for Ali Segre. And that's
Earlier this year, the basketball world found itself buzzing with an unexpected wave of speculation suggesting that Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's generational star and one of the most talked about figures in women's sports, might be exploring alternative leagues, such as the Big Three on idea that, while sensational for headlines, turned out to be completely baseless and rooted more in social media chatter than reality. Nonetheless, the internet thrives on drama, and now, months later, similar rumors have resurfaced, fueled this time by her recent absence from the court due to injury. But to set the record straight from the outset, no, Caitlin Clark is not leaving the WNBA, nor has she shown any indication that she intends to. And the latest round of whispers appears to be little more than the product of impatience from fans who miss watching her play. Combined with the viral nature of sports gossip, the current wave of speculation began after Clark suffered a groin injury during the Fever's statement win over the Connecticut Sun on July 15, a game in which she was once again showing her trademark competitiveness and court vision before being forced to leave, and subsequent medical evaluations confirmed that while there was no additional structural damage or long-term complications, the injury required rest and a carefully monitored recovery process, meaning there was no clear timeline for her return, an outcome that instantly set the rumor mill spinning. In the days following the injury, Fever fans eagerly refreshed injury reports, hoping for a surprise clearance. But as the weeks went on, it became clear that the organization was committed to a conservative rehab approach, prioritizing Clark's long-term health over short-term gains, a strategy that has kept her sidelined for key matchups, including the Sunday afternoon game against the Seattle Storm, marking her 7th consecutive missed game and her 16th overall missed regular season contest this year, a stretch that also saw her absent from the Commissioner's Cup game and the All-Star game to showcase events where her presence would have been a huge draw both competitively and commercially. When a player of Clark's stature misses significant time, the emotional reaction is inevitable. Fans who have built their schedules, ticket purchases, and even travel plans around seeing her play understandably feel disappointed. And in the age of 24/7's sports coverage, frustration can quickly morph into speculation. But the Fever's decision to remain cautious is not only logical, it's a reflection of the reality that Clark is one of the league's most valuable assets, both in terms of on-court performance and marketability, and protecting her from aggravating the injury is an investment in the franchise's and the league's future. Statistically, the Fever's season illustrates both her impact and the team's resilience. They are 8-5 when Clark plays this season and 8-7 without her. showing that while they can hold their own in her absence, her presence is still a difference maker, and notably, the team is currently riding a 4-game winning streak. A testament to the depth of their roster and the leadership of players like Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Nolissa Smith, who have stepped up to carry the load while their superstar heels. The Fever, champions back in 2012, are in the midst of a rebuild aimed at returning them to perennial contender status. And Clark is central to that vision, not just as a scorer and playmaker, but as the emotional heartbeat of the team, the face of their marketing campaigns, and the player most responsible for filling seats both at Gainbridge Fieldhouse and in opposing arenas. Historically, mid-season speculation about star players isn't new. Fans and media alike often try to fill the void when a marquee name is missing from action. And in Clark's case, the heightened attention comes from the fact that she isn't just a great basketball player. She's a cultural figure, someone who draws celebrity attendees to games, inspires a new generation of players, and has endorsement deals with major brands who build national campaigns around her image. The idea that she might leave the WNBA mid-career for another league is more fantasy than fact, especially given that she has repeatedly stated her commitment to building something lasting in Indiana. But it's worth acknowledging that the rumors themselves speak to a bigger picture: the WNBA's rapid growth and the unprecedented spotlight on certain players has created a unique environment where their every move, absence, or comment becomes magnified into a national talking point. From a health perspective, the Fever's caution makes perfect sense when you consider the physical demands placed on WNBA players. The season has expanded in recent years, with more games crammed into a tight schedule that allows limited recovery time, and injuries like groin strains are notoriously tricky, as rushing back can lead to chronic issues that linger for seasons. Clark's situation is therefore a microcosm of a broader conversation about player welfare in the league, one that has been raised by other stars who have experienced similar setbacks in condensed seasons. And, if anything, her absence may serve as a wake-up call for both the WNBA and fans to recognize that maintaining the health of its brightest stars is essential for sustaining the momentum the league has built in recent years. Beyond the rehab room, the Fever's current run without Clark is also reshaping the narrative, rather than collapsing without their leader. They have shown adaptability, which could prove invaluable when she returns, as the team will be deeper, more battle-tested, and capable of supporting her without over-reliance, a dynamic that could be critical in the playoffs. Yet, make no mistake, her return will be one of the most anticipated moments of the season, and the energy shift when she finally steps back onto the court will be immediate. Ticket sales will spike,